Welcome to Loleventvods. Watch the full game of today's LTA 2025 matchup.
For impact. So those being taken out now with Fearless and us having to go down on the tier list of champions, plus AD carries being moved past the Varus Ezreal perma pick tier is where it starts to get interesting. And we can really delve more into RTL really going to drop Kalista after these nerfs because I am at the point where I am fine letting it through. We have seen Kalista lose a lot if you just pick like double poke lane into it. And TL have been one of the teams that have still had super high prio on that because Yon and Core JJ are such a good duo and such good players in the lane phase. So I'm kind of curious to see that development. It looks like on the blue side, at the very least, DSG will not be banning Kalista. And I don't think there's any need for TL to do it.
But even for Yon, you know, he's actually 1 and 2 on it, right? So it's not like they've been dominating. They have gotten it a couple times, but mostly have lost with it. Vi going to be the first pick here. Was super high prio at the end of last week. We saw it getting picked up a lot.
Yeah, as we see that Rumble hover for impact, another champion that he's super comfortable with. Rumble still very, very strong. Would not be at all surprised to see them lock it in here.
It would also be really fun because we saw Bwipo do the Yorick kind of counter pick into it that he used against Fudge. Castle has also been playing some Yorick. He's been kind of the Bwipo disciple.
After Bwipo beat him with it, he's then like, I need to get on this champ.
It was not the player, it was the champion. And so he started playing the Yorick. So it'd be fun to see if he actually runs that back. Of course, Galio is banned out. That's kind of considered one of the classic answers into the Rumble. So it almost feels like when you ban Galio, when you don't first pick it on blue side, you're trying to set them up to play it.
Yeah, 100% agree. Very well could be getting a Yorick into this one, but
either that or they just forgot about the champion.
Well, we'll wait and see, though.
I don't think Castle forgot about the
Castle
champion.
definitely didn't. As you said, he threw one down, but okay, interesting.
Oh, it could be Aurora top as an answer. Is very annoying for, honestly, every melee champion in the game to lane against top lane. I have been seeing some people go back up to it, and it has been mostly like full AP when I've been seeing it. You obviously can keep it flexible, though, in the first 3. I actually like not picking both your soul lanes here, because this Corki could theoretically be mid, could be bot. Aurora could be mid or top, so you're definitely keeping your options open here and making it harder for TL to actually get that red side advantage, which is kind of your soul lane counter picks generally.
Yeah, and it does take away this Corki theoretically from APA as well. We did see in last game, as we see the Nico come through, Nico has risen in prio over, in particular in LPL and LCK. But again, something that we know can either go bot or APA can pilot it mid. He has had some really good Nico performances. And
especially when you have a Xin Zhao jungle, Nico is really good with it because Nico can constantly get lane pressure and move to make plays with you. So really love Xin Zhao Nico pairings. It's a very deadly mid jungle synergy there. So I kind of hope that it is APA Nico. Of course, as you said, could be flexed to Core JJ, and he has done some sneaky plays with it himself.
And it's a really good pairing with Kalista, so that's going to get banned out. Wouldn't be surprised to see double AD carry bans from DSG to try to protect that Corki. I'm assuming it would be going bot, and I'm assuming that the Nico would be going support. And then Nico is a really deadly support. You know, if you play it with poke or you play it with some of these all-in things like the Kalista, of course, you know, the Fate's Call pairing really strong, can be difficult to deal with. And the consideration obviously being given from TL that this could be Corki mid, though. They're actually going to ban out the MF.
Yeah, and I think that's smart just because it is one of Scary Jerry's like preferred picks. It's something he's played a lot. He feels pretty comfortable on. And it takes away another like tiny turret pressure. Meanwhile, we see the Lucian taken away from Yon should he want to pilot that. Or I mean, theoretically, APA could also play that mid. They were because they had Lilia jungle and also because APA is really proficient at 80 mids, they were banning out both Corki and Tristan on 4-5 last game. As we see the Kaisa locked in for Yon.
There's not that much CC on this team, so it makes me think that it is going to be actually APA playing Nico, and that it would be, you know, a hard engage bot to kind of set up that Alistar, or like something like an Alistar or along those lines. Of course, Alistar is taken out, but you could go, you know, Leona, Nautilus, whatever. Nautilus is banned, so it would have to be probably Leona. But that being said, if they don't like the matchup mid, then you can still just make that support and counter pick mid. I just think that they're a little bit low on CC for Kaisa teams. Like, they can dive, obviously, but it's like knock up from Xin and and Nico. That's it.
Yeah, and like I was saying though, I really do like it with a Xin Zhao for mid jungle 2v2 prio. It's like very, very good dueling and very good like leaking into other lanes and making plays there. So we're gonna have a heavy pick comp. This is mega heavy pick comp for DSG. They need to get picks. They need to play side lanes and split the map. And they've got Vi and Leona to set up Ahri and Aurora for lots of flanks and lots of picks.
Core's face made me think that he was still thinking about his support pick because he looked so deep in thought when the Leona got taken. The Leona is kind of the last of the big four hard engaged champs that are available. So instead of going for the hard engage, he's going to go more for the denial. So we'll be Nico mid, we'll be Poppy support. A lot of dashes over on the other side that you can actually stop. You can actually stun Aurora on the little hop that goes in Viz. Obviously Vi Q, Ahri ult dashes, the Valkyrie, the Zenith Blade. All 5 champions have something that Poppy can interrupt with the W and stun.
Gotta be honest, I'm liking the TL draft a lot here. As
You're not gonna lie to us?
As simple.
Why don't you lie to us, Kobe?
I didn't say that I wasn't lying. I said I gotta be honest.
That would imply honesty.
Kind of did say that.
Well, I could be lying about that.
Well, then you don't gotta be honest. Yeah.
Then you're not honest at all.
I don't even know what to believe anymore. Is your name even Kobe?
You opened up a can of worms here.
Oh no!
I'm gonna have an existential crisis. Is everything a lie?
Vi and Ahri is very easy to pull off, though. Point click. You're going to get it. Somebody's going to get locked up. You can easily follow up with the charms. Leona is also very, very, very easy to pair with it. Super long range. So they do have a lot of very straightforward setup. And you can just chain picks. And with the way that the objectives are now, with Dragon is on bottom side, go there, then go up to the top side when wardrobes spawn at 8 minutes. It's very directed.
Absolutely. Non-subscribers, we will see you in 30 seconds. I agree, lots of pick potential, not to mention the Aurora, right? Like Vi, Aurora, Ahri, these are all such easy ways to start fights, but the counter engage over on the other side is nasty. Like, you're thinking, okay, you probably want to go for the Kai'Sa. That's probably the premium target here. So you go for the Kai'Sa, Vial, Ariel, everything. But then there's Equalizer on your head. There's the Xin Zhao throwing down the ultimate. There's the Nico counter engage.
Blossom,
there's so many tools to try to actually punish you that sometimes, you know, these kind of like shotgun style comps where it's like every ulti. So official reason was in fact having some pretty bad wrist pain. So asked for a pause.
I mean, I'm loading in right now. I'm inside. There we go.
We're in. All right. Umty's good to go. Just had to ice it up for a little bit.
He's going to be playing with the ice pack in his hand.
This is like the gamer equivalent of, you know, like when people are playing through their injuries and stuff, you know?
When Kobe Bryant was like, yeah, I'll just play through the injury. That's Umty's doing that right now.
Yeah,
there was a hockey team that just the Tampa Bay Lightning released like all of the injuries their players have been dealing with. Like one of them had a broken foot.
Leg, wasn't it?
It was a broken foot.
Crazy.
Another had compartment syndrome. You can die from
That's not
compartment syndrome.
Look it up or don't.
All right. Well, we are going to be talking a little bit about APA and his bald bet. If you didn't hear about it, he actually bet that he was going to go bald last time. You know, if he had a bet against Mash, who was the former coach, actually got fired, unfortunately, or let go, or whatever you want to call it. Loser shaves their head, and it was in fact TL that lost. He shaved his head, but it was more of a buzz. It was more of a buzz, and then I loved Moss's quote tweet. He ain't do nothing but stand back. It did look very similar to the before. I will say that much. So maybe he needs to make the bet again, but he's got to go like all the way, you know? He's got to wax it. It's a waxed head now.
And I'm not going to trust him to do it anymore because he didn't do a good job the first time.
We got to bring in an expert. I'll shave it.
It's either you or Genghis. Like, it's got to be a bald person to do it.
Yep. If my head is more shiny than his head, it doesn't count.
True.
All right.
We're going to have to give him the wax and shine, you know? Give him the rainbow wax. He'll go through one of those car washes that you can drive
That's nice. It's like you're going to give him a whole package deal.
Yeah.
Not just the shave. You're also going to hook him up.
He'll get pampered.
Yeah, wow.
It'll be enjoyable. It's like a pedicure for your head.
The way you said that, you're like,
massage.
it will be enjoyable, but you made it sound like a threat.
It is.
Question is he going to play better League of Legends after it?
With the threat hanging over his head.
Yeah, true. Okay, so as far as Nico play goes, though, pretty even as far as the start here. Nico usually really strong lane phase here, and does go for the Airy for those trades. Is able to get the early push. Xin Zhao, okay. Xin Zhao actually might do an early Aurora gank. from
Yeah,
the
it's
looks
looking
of it.
like
top side.
Castle could be in some trouble here. He's going to get slowed down by the Electro Harpoon. He's not level 3, so he doesn't actually have the hop. He's going to have to try to flash, but I don't even think there's a use for it. He's just going to get chased down, ran down. grabs first blood.
And it's extremely efficient because he just did the 3 camp clear into instant gank and recall. People are always like, oh no, you're going to lose so much if you do a level 3 gank. Not if it only takes 3 seconds to pull off and you just recall to the other side. So there's actually not anything for XU to punish because XU started on bottom side, clearing up towards top side. So very efficient and successful early move from Umpty. Regardless of the wrist issues that he is playing through right now, they get the first blood right into his hands.
So Chad did not agree that Masu had to pay Kobe, but they do agree that APA's haircut does not count as a shave.
Bald.
You know what?
He's not a bald man.
I'm going to cut my losses then. I'm going to give up on the Masu argument.
You just take the one that you already won and then pretend that that was the one you were campaigning for.
Yeah.
Umpty might be looking for something bot here too.
Umpty is looking, and they're going to be able to slow them down. Ignite going to get thrown down, and then they're going to go into Scary Jerry. He catches him on the Valk. He gets stunned, but it's a late flash and a barrier. There's the Q to follow. The knockup comes through, and the Acathian Rain gets not one but two. XU trying to make a counterplay back in mid lane, but there is nothing there for him. APA going to keep chasing him, actually looking to get some damage back, but it's Yawn ahead again.
Dude, Core JJ is clean with it. Okay, that W and flash to ground the Valk from Scary Jerry, and they just barely get the kill off of it. That Team Liquid already, this is such a huge start for them.
Well, yeah, and then XU isn't able to get the response in mid, and Umpty, once again, to your point, Kobe, did not lose anything for that, right? And he's had incredible impact on this map.
Yeah, just the one Raptor.
Just the Raptor camp, yeah.
Little respawn there. And he left behind a ward. That's about it, though. I mean, TL are just so happy with the way that this has gone. So let's take
air traffic controller, Poppy.
Yeah, as we see Umpty, there you go. Core going in. Whew. And then the big thing coming out of this, again, Yawn set up in such a key position to take over, and the Feet of Warfare going through. TL's coaches, very happy with that.
Yeah, the double flash is invested, though. Yeah, Core JJ invested his, Umpty invested his, Yawn invested his as well. So some resources definitely used and maybe punished.
Here's Core.
Nice roam there from Core. Going to be able to force out a flash from Abadaga. Which buy do you like more from the AD carries?
The bigger
Which
weapon.
would I rather
the
have?
BF sword or the glowing moat in the tier?
I've been told.
It's tough, but I'll take the BF
That
sword.
moat is glowing. It's not just a regular moat. Does it change your option?
True.
No.
I mean, honestly,
I tried.
it's magic, right? It's magical because it's glowing.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, we got another little fight here in the jungle.
Early game has been looking magical, and so is Core JJ's. They're going to stun Hui against the wall and knock him down in a hurry. XU trying to walk out, and he's going to get rooted up, and in comes the ulti. Going to be flashed, though, by XU. Will stay safe, but not before they lose the support. They're going to lose the jungle. TL looking really good in this game 2 early game.
Yeah, they'll get the Drake off of that as well. Had already claimed the Feats of Warfare previously. What a great early start for Umpty. And I mean, again, like, you'd kind of have to be worried seeing the medical pause going into this game, but he's
flu game.
Really, really set up, in particular bot lane, for success, and they're going to get that Drake as well, starting towards their objective count.
Yeah, I mean, I already liked their comp better, and with a 1.4 thousand gold lead and dragon lead already too, it's like really, really okay. So what can DSG do to try and put a stop to this? Yeah,
I think they need to get some picks.
We come back to the thing that we said like 7 times in Gen Select, and we're like, all right, we return to the drawing board here. Step number 1, we're gonna have to get level 6 on our Vi. XU will get the level 6, and then you can pull off your point-click combo. Find it one pick at a time.
Yep, I mean, they're going to have to, right? You drafted Ahri, Vi, and Aurora as your top side. Like, that has to get picked. You can't just take the straight-up 5v5, I don't think, and expect to win against TL from here. So we'll see if they can find some of those picks. He hovering around mid lane, but is on a ward, unfortunately, for him. So APA well aware of it and just trying to waste his time. XU now in on the invade. Umpty going to be able to claim that red buff, though. And Impact was also moving over immediately, so there wasn't really any opportunity for XU to look for more.
What a game here so far for Umpty. Goes unpunished in all his ganks that he gets off all his pressure. This is the type of game where you know the enemy team is like pinging their jungle and they're like complaining and they're like, this guy is everywhere.
Help me.
And also you're down in farm. Do something. These are those rage games, honestly. So let's see about the grub spawn though, because we're approaching that 8-minute mark, and with the early lead for TL, you would expect that they would be able to get all of them, but honestly, DSG are moving over to contest. So Vi Ultimate is at the ready for XU. Him plus Abba could try and get somebody in.
XU is trying to move over, but you can see Umpty has actually, you know, been doing a good job with the aggressive jungling. You know, he's #1 in counter jungling, #1 in forward percentage. As much as he's got a lot of criticism, I don't feel like you can just blame Umpty for TL's struggles this year at all. You know, I do think the soul laners have been struggling, and Umpty lately has been having some better games. Like, this game is great, but his Neferi games we talked about a lot, Kobe, have been looking strong too. And I think, you know, if you're going to criticize him when he plays poorly, you got to give him the credit when he's playing well, and he's definitely playing really well in this game.
Yeah, and as we see the Grubs also, all three of them going over to TL off. And I think DSG are going to be kind of upset about that, right? Because they did swap their bot lane before TL. TL actually had Yon in the bot lane going up against Castle for a little bit, while DSG and Huhi were in this 2v1 topside. So for Yon to be able to walk up as...
Trade of flashes, Zenith played forward, but he's going to get stunned up, and now Yon is going to have to cleanse and ult to safety there to try to survive, is going to be able to do it. Huhi, the initial engage didn't really get much, but it was that trade of flashes from Core. The re-engage, though, looked quite nice, and that was the experience advantage that they were trying to use there. He was 6, Core was 5, so they look for the play. And Scary Jerry even going to be able to cash in on a plate, but now Core JJ trying to get a little bit aggressive, dashes to the minion, slows him up, and Scary Jerry just getting chased, should be able to eventually walk this out, but does take a bit of punishment and is sitting pretty low now.
Yeah, honestly, I do like it. You could tell from TL's movement, like they were expecting pressure on top side of the map and played accordingly, even though I think it was, you know, rightly so. You point out well played by DSG to still get something. Honestly, really good kind of defensive awareness and play from TL to avoid that, because Jan was the one with the early bounty on his head with the early kills that he acquired on the Kai'Sa, and continues to get to farm ahead steadily towards that Yuntao build.
Yeah, I mean, no one is going to be matching him in this lane currently, although Abba is going to be headed up there. But yeah, they've done not just a good job of getting gold onto Jan from that early 2v2, but then also giving him situations where he can just farm up and get into a really good position as we see that first item coming through.
Yeah, and I think they really have to kind of punish this missing cleanse. Like, if you can find the Virari combo on Jan before he has that cleanse back, you know, he should be dead to rights. We'll see if they are going to be able to do that, as these first items starting to come through. You can see the Proto Belt done there for APA, Sundered Sky done for Umpty, and the Untal that you already touched on is now done as well for Jan. So looking pretty good on the TL side, and should be willing to fight because they have those item completions faster than their opponents.
Yep, and we'll see as DSG do kind of have first rotation on the Drake setup. Jan is in a really good position to come off the back half, and Umpty is just going to potentially walk in and start this.
Yeah, I mean, they have the better buys, right? So I feel like they're pretty confident to pull this, and they are going to do just that. Jan will move over. You do see Abadaga moving down. Impact does have his TP, so we'll see if he's actually forced to use it, because DSG are also posturing like they want the fight, and Aurora is on a potential flank here. Scary Jerry trying to play through mid. It's actually a TP from Abadaga just from very close range. They are going to go in, and there's the charm landing on Umpty. Umpty down incredibly low, but he doesn't actually fall. Castle goes in, trying to finish him off from inside the Crescent Guard, but he still can't do it, and Scary Jerry on the other side is getting pushed out. It's a flash follow there from APA. They get the kill there. Jan gets a kill onto Huhi. Impact flash follows. It's a disaster for DSG. It's a 5-for-0 clean ace before 12 minutes, and TL are making this one a statement game.
Oh my goodness, that is a game ender right there. Exu goes for the smite, but Umpty still hits it. And then look, all the resources they use on Umpty, they got him to like 2 health right there, but he flashes, he gets a Sundered Sky auto attack heal proc off, then he gets off a castle, he evades out over to the Leona and escapes alive! After the pick comp tried to burst down the jungle at the objective. Like, that is crazy work right there. Team Liquid, holy moly. Game 1 was fun. Game 1 was close. Game 2 is not.
No, they're almost up to a 4K gold lead here as we see them making moves towards this top side, potentially get first turret as well.
They're definitely in a position to be able to really take any fight they want right now, and any reasonable engage is likely to go their way. Even Core picking up a couple kills, a lot of assists, does have a 1,000 gold lead down as the support, which is kind of crazy.
Poppy damage is no joke, too.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a dangerous man right there.
Likely to be an early Trailblazer probably coming through. Sometimes people go fully for the Deadmans, but generally it is just the Trailblazer because it is obviously a lot cheaper for the supports. APA doing it what APA does, out towards the side lanes, loves to play for that turret gold. As Impact potentially is vulnerable. XU does have his ult very shortly. Core, though, trying to look to overload that top side and set up a dive here on Abadaga. His ult now just comes back up, but he is still in a 1v3. If APA gets this wave in, I don't know that there's really any outplaying the Poppy and the Xin Zhao. So APA gets the push, and now in comes the bad news for Abadaga. He's going to try to fight his way out towards APA, but there's the flash in, there's the Pop Blossom, there's the lockdown, nowhere for him to go.
That's what I'm imagining rugby looks like from your guys' explanations.
Wow.
That was actually me when I got the concussion. Yeah,
Okay.
I was the Ari.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that was concussion number 1.
Yep.
As
They're
I
going to look
see,
for a dive,
DSG.
mid lane cleanse, ult to safety. Yawn in some trouble. They're going to try to chase him down, but they can't get the kill. And now the equalizer going to get dropped. Scary Jerry has to flash. Impact has no flash to follow, but Core JJ is coming in, and you can see APA looking for an angle, trying to get a route here. We'll see if he can find it. Core JJ goes, gets a stun. There's the follow-up, and it is going to be a killing spree for Impact. Castle is gone in a hurry. He has got no survivability at all against that.
It's a disaster for DSG. I thought they might at least be able to get that mid-tier 1 off of that play. They are not. Lose Castle again. Really, really rough. Core's just...
He might win
Can
this.
he kill XU? I think he can.
Yeah.
Oh, he can't even take the Q. He's going to get stunned up. It's going to be a solo kill for Core JJ. If that doesn't say get out the game, I don't know what does.
And it wasn't even close.
No.
That was not even close. That's OP. You get to take Smite as a support, though, man. That's not fair.
True.
Justice for the junglers.
There you go.
Not fair.
Has the Ignite, uses it, kills him off. They're taking the Herald on the top side. No kills, no objectives for DSG in game number 2. We'll see if they can find something to avoid the perfect game. But for now, Yawn going to stay around here. Does have a lot of gold in pocket, you have to think, that he would be able to go back and buy. And DSG are closing in on his location. If he face checks, could be in some trouble. Is going to be able to spot Huhi, and Huhi gets the news that he is there as well. But Core now has the full Deadmans. He is rich and looking for any fight available.
This Poppy is so scary, actually.
I mean, it's so much burst damage with the Blood Song and the Deadman's proc is a lot of upfront damage here. So be careful against that wall.
Well, they're looking for the Hex Flash, and there has not been a single perfect game globally in any league since Otacon came in. So this would be the first if TL can do it. I don't know what says we're back more than getting a perfect game.
So since any Otacons came in, including the previous season. Okay, cool.
Yep, this whole year. So since Otacon was introduced, no perfect games at all. We'll see if they can do it. Of course, they're still a long ways off from a perfect game. It is very hard to close out with no kills, nothing going over. And this could be that kill going over right now. We cursed it. They're going to get the first one. APA gets shut down. I'm sorry. Abadaga gets traded back on the other side, and Yawn, Core, and Umpty are here. Here comes the teleport now from Impact. They're going to look for this fight. Umpty's going to go in onto Hui. There's the stun over on a Core JJ. Impact arrives, and Impact is cooking him up. The equalizer gets dropped. Yawn is free-firing. Castle trying to do his best to kite out the fight, but in comes the killer instinct from Yawn. It's a double, and it's looking like it's going to be a triple. He flashes off for the wall. The Acathian Rain follows him, but it doesn't do enough. But just now he burns down. I don't even know what killed him over the wall there from Yawn. And at the same time, it's Core in another 1v1. This one against Scary Jerry, and he's down to fight this too. Impact comes in. Scary Jerry going to Valk forward, but there's a TP coming in behind him. Scary Jerry has got to try to finish off this kill right here, right now, or he is in trouble. Abadaga is back as well as TL's over on the Dragon. APA's chasing in. They're going to get this kill, surely, with the ulti. The overheat comes out. He gets 1. Abadaga now on the wrong side of the map. Core is low, but APA just has him corralled, and APA looking for the Pop Blossom is going to be able to nail it. The charm doesn't hit anything. He's trying to finish off Core. It's his only target, but he can't even get that. 18-2 for TL.
Not the perfect game, but TL are firmly in the driver's seat of this. As yeah, that was, I'll blame you completely for APA getting caught out here. This is kind of what this team is designed to do, right? Make picks, but TL are in such a good position that they're just able to fight this. Impact comes in, lays the equalizer down. Kuhi is gone, and Yon is just able to clean up.
Yeah, I mean, they just deleted Abadaga against the wall at the very beginning. So when Abadaga shows backup, it's actually after his first death from the beginning of the team fight. And the teleport comes in as well.
Hear no bell.
Yeah, exactly. Keep that one going.
And we're going to keep that one going back on live as APA in trouble again, trying to juke him out with the clone, going to flash to safety as there's the flash follow from XU, does connect with the Q. Is he going to be able to chase him down? Pop Blossom comes out, but he gets the kill. Knocks them down, going to be able to grab a second. They lose the tower top lane though, and they're going to potentially lose the tier 2 in mid as well. Kind of messed up day for APA. First, Masu one-shots his computer, then I curse him on the perfect game. Our bad. Oh, that was close.
Oof, yeah, he almost got it.
Would have been cool.
Crazy game from Umpty though.
1-0-12.
This did really all start with a lot of successful Umpty plays, as Impact should be just fine here. But just like, this game is going one direction, so if I'm thinking about how we got here, you know, big props to him on the early ganks.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely, and Huhi going to be going one direction. That is back to the fountain. Tries to flash out of safety. Maybe going to be able to survive. Here comes the equalizer, and there's the ulti going down into the back line. Yon going to be in a little bit of trouble, but there's no follow-up, so he's really okay. Umpty just charging forward, flashing in under the tower. Going to be able to finish off Scary Cherry. It's another triple. It's another ace for TL. 23-3. Whoever drafted Liquid for Fantasy this week, you are eating good.
I'm pretty sure Jat actually said he drafted every single TL member.
Collusion.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Investigate.
Inside.
You should investigate Jat next.
He's not in the dive league, so we're safe.
It's okay.
Actually, I don't know if he is.
Don't give him a link. Disable it.
You're not invited. How many points do you have? Not invited.
No. You have more points than me. That's not going to work. Sorry, bro.
So this turned into a full ace. This turned into a full clean ace. That is just how far ahead they are. They grouped up. They caught him on the brush.
What's that siren noise?
Siren? You heard a siren
like
there?
Yeah.
You had one too many concussions, or?
Yeah, I have no ulti.
He was also listening.
He did have
Yeah.
no ulti. That's true. After he died.
Corky makes some weird noises sometimes.
Maybe it was the UFO Corky or something. I'm not really sure. That
Makes
was a
some-
weird little background noise. But yeah, I mean, DSG trying, but at this point, 11,000 gold lead. Soul in
At this point, what?
Yeah.
Set?
minute 30. At this point, if it's solo queue, you FF'd 5.5 minutes ago.
Or if it's a scrim, I feel like you're calling it
scrim,
as
you
that.
FF'd
Yeah,
15
like
minutes ago.
it's over. I mean, I also think pick comps already degree of difficulty on execution slightly higher, you'd say. I don't know if you agree, but I think so. And especially from behind,
So
not
what they
fun.
need to do is get more picks.
Yes, somehow.
Increase the picks.
Keep tapping that board.
Yep.
Step number one. Let's get it. All
After
right.
for picks,
Meanwhile,
go for the
I mean,
picks.
TL were already not having problems turning whole fights into aces, and now they have Otacon slow to help them with a problem they were not having.
But at least DSG are making use of the new bounty system. There's a chance to talk about the changes to the bounties.
Thanks, Freak.
The bounties actually increase and get a lot bigger than previously
Up to
even
1K.
possible. An entire 1,000 gold. It used to only be possible if the maximum difference in gold scores to be able to get an 800 extra gold bounty. This is on top of the base of whichever objective that you get. Now it's possible to get a full 1,000 depending on the gold difference.
Yep.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say 10,000 gold difference.
So it's you can
is
get
enough to get it. Oh, because it is up to 10%.
Only for the biggest objectives, like for Baron and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that one, so they got 500, I think, for the outer tower bounty. But yeah, that is
because the outer. It depends on the base, because outer towers are lower than all the other objectives.
Yep, exactly. So they are going to be able to likely grab Soul here. But yeah, I mean, there's more of a chance, absolutely, of comebacks now. With that bounty system getting changed. We got to talk to Riot Froxon on the dive this last week, and he was saying, at that 800 bounty mark, you need less of a deficit to get to 1K now than last patch you needed to get to 800. So it is, definitely more of that comeback
And we've
mechanic,
hit that deficit in this game.
We have.
We have.
I'm going to guarantee it. We don't have the actual formula, but I think 10,000 gold's enough.
That's a lot. Good job, Umpty.
Plus
for,
the
showing
Dragon
us.
Soul, of course, now in the hands of Team Liquid.
Yep, that's tough.
Actually, where does the soul go? It doesn't go into your hands.
Goes into your heart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the dragon's like, is it like a merging situation?
I don't know,
Or is
it,
it
like,
like
gives
some
you
sort of
magic.
like body snatchers type
You just-
situation?
yeah.
Like your
the dragon just
personality
controls
dies.
your body.
It's just now dragons.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll let the
What is
dragon.
a
I'll let the
soul?
dragon take the
A
wheel. Go
philosophy
ahead.
discussion.
Okay. You see all 5 members just
All
go to the
right.
pit and stand there after they get the soul.
When Emily starts hoarding gold and like sitting on top of it.
Yeah,
we know
exactly.
why.
Then we know the dragon has taken my soul.
Yep, fair enough. Castle going to look for an engage here. Does get a little bit of a chunk onto Umpty, but Ocean Soul, that did nothing, I'm not going to lie. And they are getting the waves pushing in from both mid and top. Just trying to kind of sync up these waves. We won't see them get too crazy probably if DSG just wants to sit back and actually wave clear before the Baron. It is somewhat hard to actually force your will on your opponents when they do have decent wave clear, but now they are just going to walk it in. The waves do get cleared out, but in comes Pop Blossom, does connect onto Castle, and Abadaga are in so much trouble. Abadaga is gone already, and Huhi trying to peel for him. Castle just running through the base to the other side. The Equalizer's going to get dropped. It's only on Huhi, though, but at the same time, Exu going for it. Umpty getting low. Can they actually turn this around? Scary Jerry is firing. They're going to be able to get 1 kill back. Can they get more? Exu still alive. Yon is going to flash out and have to cleanse. Uses the ult. Is going to be able to walk it out, but Core is going to go back in. Knocks up 2, knocks down 1. Scary Jerry, Exu, and Huhi are going to be able to hold the line. Honestly, better than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, they only lost 2.
They lose 2. Inhib turret, inhib.
That's a dub.
Get a few kills back. The game didn't end.
I want to draw the path of the fight, because they go all the way in. They dive that tower, and then they dive further into the base with only 3 members, by the way, chasing through, because Impact was tanking tower, so Impact left. In the end, though, a lot of flashes burned, so you have to look at it from the perspective of DSG. DSG want Yon's bounty. Yon now has no summoner spells and no Kaisa ult for the time being. Full send, everything. Try and get that big old bounty off of Yon. That is a lot of gold. It's going to be hard to get because he does have a
Seeker. That's
Seeker's
cheating.
arm guard.
You're supposed to be going AD. That doesn't have AD on it.
But maybe he'll be slow to
Sell
use
that.
it, or maybe you can just chain 100% to 0 via RE combo.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he'll be
Burst,
slow
maybe.
to use it. Maybe the whole team will just hands off the keyboard, click into your fountain too. That would be the comeback.
Maybe.
It could happen.
Dare to dream.
Dare
as
to dream.
they-
Theoretically.
I'm with you. And I think that might be the best angle for a comeback that they have. It is going to be TL over on the Baron already.
There we go.
You can see Abadaga TPing in. This could be the final stand here for DSG. We'll see if they can make anything happen, but the Baron is
Baron's
going down
gone.
in a hurry. It is just getting melted by Yon. And that thing is gone. Exu trying to see if there was an angle for a steal. There was not. And now APA is looking for Exu. He's going to be able to get on top of him, knock him up with the Pop Blossom. And Yon goes legendary. We've heard that one before as he has been popping off in this game. Core looking for an angle here, but DSG will be able to limp back to the base. But you have to think for sure this game is absolutely wrapped up with that Baron being taken. Huhi now way outside of the base, but TL don't really care. They're just going to push down mid, push down top. Impact immediately went up there and does have that Baron buff on the wave, so just going to be going for this top lane inhibitor.
Yeah, Upty's like, hey, where are you, bro? Get some minions over here. We got work to do. Take down these towers.
They are closing in. The Ocean Soul just allowing them to stay out on the map pretty much forever. That tower is gone, and there is a root down and a kill already on Castle. He is just getting deleted time and time again this game. Core and APA combo him down, and now TL pushing for the Nexus here. We'll see if DSG can find any sort of an angle to engage. The Equalizer's going to get dropped on Abadaga. He is back to the fountain. This tower is going down in the hurry, and over on the other side, Scary Jerry is caught, and he is gone. The barrier did nothing. Core going to go forward because of course he is. He has been dominating this whole game. TL have a close game 1, but a dominant game 2, spearheaded by Umti. Really good early game, really good late game. They crush DSG, they get their revenge, they take the series.
A statement victory for TL and Umti in particular, right?